Hey guys, my name's Blake.
And I'm Zeter.
This is Hound Hogs Barbecue, and today we're going to teach you how to smoke a spatchcock turkey on a pellet grill. Alright, Zeter, I'm going to get out of here and let you do this.
Okay. So we've had this turkey in the brine overnight. We did use John Lindsay's all queued up Bird Brine. It's something new that's coming out, so get your hands on that just as soon as you can. Again, we've had this thing soaking in that brine since last night. If you want to do that, leave it overnight. Make sure you can put it in a cooler, stick it in the fridge, stick it in a bucket. Just make sure it stays cold and wet. All right, so to spatchcock this turkey, the first thing we're going to do, what we want to do is we want to expose all this meat, get it on the same level at the grate. So we're going to turn this girl over, and then we're going to remove this spine, just like the Predator does. We're going to start at the rear end and just work our way up. Now the best way to do this, you can use a knife, but I have found that if you just go over to Home Depot and get you some garden shears, it works just fine. Actually, it works way better. You go ahead and cut right down the middle. That'll help you get pressure on the back of the turkey. You want to go ahead and turn it over. Just put pressure right in the middle. That'll help lay that girl out real flat. Look at that. A beautiful spatchcock turkey. So one thing that you'll notice here is the skin looks really loose. Blake actually, before he put this turkey into the brine, he went ahead and just kind of separated the skin from the breast and the meat. You can do that all the way around on the legs, but you definitely want to hit the legs and the breast, separate that. That allows that brine to get up underneath the skin, get in direct contact with the breast meat and the leg meat, and then also when you go to season it later, you can get that up underneath the skin as well as on top of it. Alright, so one thing you don't want to forget about, I've already kind of started cutting it out, but right here on top of the breast, or right behind the breast, in this general area, there'll be a wishbone right here. And the easiest way to do is you can kind of feel around with your fingers. You'll feel it right in here, and then you can just slide your knife behind it and run it to the top, and then it'll come out. You do that on both sides, it'll look like this. And then once you get it cut all the way to the bottom, you can reach in there with a knife or with a pair of snips and just cut that out. Now once you get that wishbone removed, then you can go ahead and start seasoning. So while you have the turkey back here, one thing you can do is just kind of look around for things that don't look appetizing to you. I got a couple of little things I found sitting over here, but you can go in with a knife, clean some of this up, cut out some of the things that don't look too good, and then you can be ready for seasoning. So today we're going to be seasoning with Hotty Totty Barbecue Cruise Climax XX BAM as our base layer, and then we're also going to be using All Queued Up's Rockin Rooster. I love this stuff, so I'm really excited to see what this is going to do for the color and the flavor of the turkey. We'll start with this XX BAM real quick. We'll go ahead and season the back, and then we'll flip this bird over. Alright, so we got her flipped over. Now, like I said earlier, we separated the skin from the meat. That'll allow us to get some of this rub directly on the meat and then on top of the skin. So we'll start with the legs and the thighs, and then we'll move up to the breast. Alright, so one thing that you can do, if maybe it needs to be a little bit narrower on the smoker, but I did put it on this grate to just make it easier to transport from the table over to the smoker. Also, if you take these wings, you can flip them back. That helps a little bit with space management, as well as it just gives a nice presentation. Alright, before we put seasoning on this bird, what we're going to do is go ahead and put a binder on the outside of it. Today what we're using is some avocado oil. Avocado, whatever. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and spray the outside. One thing that it does is it acts as a binder, but it also helps that skin kind of crisp up a little bit throughout the cook. And for the outside of this turkey, we're just going to only put on all queued up Rockin Rooster. Alright, so we got this bird on the cooker. We're going to run her at about 225 degrees for about 2 hours. After that, we're going to bump up the temperature and get that skin nice and crisp to get a good bite through. The other thing, like I said before, to help with that is we're going to be spraying the outside of it throughout the cook with the avocado oil. Also, you should know we're cooking with cherry pellets today. It has a good mild flavor, not too strong of a smoke flavor, and it puts on a really beautiful color. Alright, so before we walk away from this thing, we do want to go ahead and stick some probes in there so we can monitor the temperature. Today we're going to be using the meter probes. If you guys haven't tried these things out, they're awesome. We have no reason to talk good about these things other than the fact that they're just amazing tools to use when you're cooking.
Alright, so it's been about an hour and a half. We just bumped this thing up to 350 degrees. Let's take a look at it real quick. Things are looking good. You can start to see that seasoning's starting to settle into the skin. You can start to see moisture coming out of the skin, which is going to help crisp it up. And I mean, really, there's not much you can say right now. We'll give it another little spritz with some oil here. That oil is just going to help to pull the moisture out of that skin.
Alright, so we got about 5 minutes left on this cook. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to put some of Mark Lambert's sweet sauce of mine, sweet and spicy vinegar. And we're just going to glaze this over here really light. You don't want to put so much of this that it overdoes the barbecue sauce flavor. You want to put just enough to just add that extra layer. Turkey's wearing a V-neck now, showing a little cleavage. That's just the way I like it.
right, Zach, how'd it go?
I think she looks great.
I think she definitely cut up a little bit easier than the fried turkey.
Yeah, that extra prep work we did at the beginning while we were spatchcocking it definitely made it a little bit easier to carve at the end.
So it looks really hot, so I'm gonna let you, since you got gloves on, get me a bite.
All right, what do you want?
I want dark meat. I'm a dark meat guy.
All right, you want something from here?
Give me thigh.
Okay. Got you some of that skin in there. You want? Here's some more
There's
meat.
a little pink right here on the edge where it gets a little smoke in there, in that pellet grill.
I'm gonna take some from this breast.
All right, I'll be honest. This thing's freaking good.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I love some smoked turkey. You do it just right, and that's with anything that you cook. If you don't do it right, it's going to come out dry, but if you really pay attention to the details, it's going to come out good every time. And it's really not as hard as it looks.
Yeah, you've got to have a way to keep track of the internal temperature of that breast. We pulled this right when it hit 165. It's so cold out here right now, that thing did not keep cooking, so it calmed down pretty quickly.
I definitely got a good bit of that sauce flavor in there. It was perfect. Perfect amount right there.
Yeah, I think you could have overdone the sauce if you had like put it on like a normal glaze.
Yeah.
But I think just that really light coat right at the end gives it that little bit of spice. It's not super sweet like a store-bought barbecue sauce, so it would still kind of give you those savory flavors.
I don't know if you can see this.
He'll make it to where you can see
Blake thought this thing was dry. That thing's got plenty of moisture in it.
Yeah, it does.
Nice and juicy.
We know why it's got so much moisture in the breast.
That's right.
It was that all queued up bird brine we got from John Lindsay. But that's what we use to brine this turkey. It's got a little bit of those Rockin Rooster flavors. It's got some different herbs in there, and it's got your classic brine things that you need. That's a lot of moisture in that.
Yeah, it's all up in my mustache.
Way better than any other turkey I've ever done on the smoker. So,
yep.
I think Rockin Rooster, Climax, Double X. Look at my hands; they're just disgusting. But
yeah, mine aren't so bad.
Climax, Double X, Rockin Rooster, all queued up bird brine, and a little bit of sweet Swine of Mine's sweet and spicy vinegar sauce will make a great combination for your smoked turkey this holiday season. But that's it for us, guys. As always, you can find everything that we used in today's video at houndhogsbbqsupply.com. Go ahead and look below for a promo code to get 10% off and turn those ideas into realities. Get out there and cook something new. We'll catch you next time.
The boar's in the middle of the frame, so you guys stand on either side of it. Dang.